Hello and welcome back to the RostyMaths channel, and welcome to another video from my Year 7 series. We've been doing number for quite a few weeks on this series now. Here you can see my curriculum that I've been going through, all the highlighted stuff we've done. If you want that in a beautiful package showing you everything in a lovely order, then click on the pop-up banner where you'll see my playlist on everything we have done. Really important you follow it in that order because it's really easy on the working memory. So it's a good idea for you to check that out. If you're new here though, don't forget to click that subscribe button below and hit that notification bell. So as soon as a video come out, you'll know about it. And it's really important to me that you click that. For you, it's nothing. Just click it. Easy. For me, it means the world. And make sure you are watching the videos. Anyway, without further ado, we have got to order some decimals. Let's go. Before we talk about ordering decimals, let's first of all talk about what it means to have a decimal. And for this, I'm going to draw a place value chart to talk quickly about what's actually happening with the numbers after the decimal point. Now, you're accustomed seeing your decimal point between your numbers. I've got a couple of them here, so that's one there and that's one there. We'll come back to that in a minute. Now, here is my line that represents my decimal point. Now, if you remember well, going back to old primary school, you'll remember that you'll have your units, your tens, your hundreds, your thousands, and so on. So if I write a number that's 342, then it looks like that. So you know you have got 3 hundreds, 4 tens, and 2 units. Now, what happens after the decimal point? Well, what happens after the decimal point is that we have numbers that go in tenths, hundreds, thousands, and so on. So, for example, if I had 342.691, say, it will look like this. I will write it down the bottom here somewhere. So 342.691. It will look something like that. And there is my decimal point. But what does the 6 mean? What does the 9 mean? What does the 1 mean? Well, the 6 means 6 tenths. So I use a different color. The 6 means 6 tenths or 0.6. Now that should ring a bell with you because you should remember this from primary school. When I divide something by 10, I'm making it 10 times smaller, 0.6. What does the 9 mean? The 9, that 9 means 9 hundredths because you can see it's 9 hundredths. And that means 0.09. Notice that after the decimal point, because I'm dividing by 100, there are 2 zeros there, I have got 2 numbers after the decimal point. Now, why did I show you this? As we order decimals, I will need you to understand what's actually happening with these decimals. So let's go back to over here now. And the first thing we want to look at is which one's bigger? Is this one bigger or that one bigger? Now, before we can work that out, I have got one rule, and my one rule is get them both to be the same number of decimal places. So you can see this has got 2 numbers after the decimal point, and this has only got 1. So what comes after that? Well, it's going to be zeros. I can fill the spaces up with zeros. Now it looks all right to me because I can see 2 numbers after the decimal point and 2 numbers there. That's what I mean when I say decimal places. This is 2 decimal places, well, now-ish, and this is 2 decimal places here. Now that it's 2 decimal places, easy peasy. If I now want to work out which one's bigger, just ignore the decimal point. This is looking like 30 if I ignore that. This is looking like 31 if I ignore that. So it's really, really clear that this is bigger. All right, let's go now and order some decimals. So before we order the decimals, let's consider whether we're ascending or descending. So you can see I've got these words ascending here and descending. Ascending means getting from smallest to bigger. So you're going to start with the smallest number and go bigger. And so for that one, I'm going to put an arrow going that way because you're going from smallest to biggest. And descending means that you're starting with the biggest number and you're getting smaller. So we're going to do ascending because that's usually what you're asked for in school. So let's go for ascending. Now, first thing, like I said over here, check to make sure you have the same number of decimal places. This has got 1, 2, 3 numbers after the decimal point. This has got 3, but that's only got 2. So let's fill that space there with a 0. And I will put that in a different color because I've now added something to this. Now we ignore the decimal point as we normally do. Just ignore it. What do you see? 590, 591, 559. So it's really clear that this is the smallest number. So I'm in blue now. I'm going to put my correct answer, 0.559. After that comes what? Well, 590. So 0.59. Don't add the 0 because there wasn't a 0 there to begin with, okay? I just put that there so I can see the numbers clearly. And then last of all, 591, so 0, oops, I forgot my 0, 0.591. Okay, so this is now in ascending order. Okay, let's do the second one. Now, I deliberately did this one this way because I wanted you to see some stuff with some negative numbers. Now, in the pop-out banner, you can see I've left you a video there all about where I talked about a number line and what happens with negative and positive numbers. Check that video out if your negative numbers are not that great. Anyway, let's jump into this one. Now, for this one, you will notice that a few of these numbers, they've got 7s at the beginning. And again, decimal places to worry about. So let's go and fill in the decimal places. I want 3. So we're going to go for 3 zeros there. Another 2 here. I don't know why I put a dot there. Let's get rid of that dot. And I am going to put another 2 here. And just 1 here. Okay, now the first thing I will look at is what's going on with my numbers. Now, 3 of them starts with 7s, and this one doesn't have a 7. But you might be thinking, hang on, because this one looks really, really small, and it is, it's probably smaller than these numbers, and there you'd be wrong. So what you have to do is consider what happens on a number line. So let's quickly just do a quick sketch of a number line. We're not even going to stay here very long. A number line. What's happening with my number lines? Well, when I have 0 here, I then go -1, -2, -3, and so on. Now, the further down you go, the smaller the number gets. So I can see here, when I look at these, this is just going to be -7. This is 7.1, and this is 7.07. So obviously, these numbers are quite small. All right, let's get rid of that number line now, and let's go and put this in order. So I already know negative numbers. I already know my negative numbers make it really, really small. So let's start here. Ignore the decimal point again. Let's start with these ones. Ignore the decimal point. So ignore that 7 on the beginning there. What does it look like here? That's going to be 100, well, -100. That's going to be 70, and that's going to be 0. So clearly, that's the smallest number here. So I'm going to start with -7.1. That's my smallest number. What comes after that if I'm going up the scale? Well, 70. So -7.07. And then what comes after that? Well, bang on 7. So that's going to be -7. And then the biggest number here is 0.007 because that is now on the positive side. Did this confuse you a lot? Make sure you check that video out that I spoke about earlier. It will really clear up for you what's happening with negative numbers. Anyway, that brings us to the end of this video. The fact that you're actually seeing me again, it means that you've made it to the end of the video. Thank you for making it this far and watching the video all the way to the end. Now, since you're already here, Go ahead and subscribe below if you haven't subscribed, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss an upload as they come out. Comments are always welcome. Let's get some engagement, guys. Put some comments down below. Talk to each other. We can actually have a debate about some of the stuff that I've put on there. Okay? That would be really, really welcome. Anyway, until I see you on the next one, though, peace.